Today we have some important PlayStation topics to discuss about, as Sony's two new PSVR patents have been identified, and I am explaining about that in detail. We also have other exclusive news and future PlayStation events and more. So before jumping into the topics, if you are new, subscribe to the channel and click the notification icon for knowing updates, more interesting and informative topics in the daily gaming world. Now let's jump in. Starting things off with the newly announced next-gen PSVR. Sony's announcement of the PSVR2 last week came with news that it will feature a brand new controller alongside the device, and thanks to two new patent applications, we may have an idea of what the controller looks like. The first one is the controller patent. The format holder filed an application for a control apparatus and control program back in November 2020, and goes into high detail on what is possibly the new VR controller that will accompany its latest headset. You'll notice that the light-up globe featured in the PSVR PlayStation Move controller has been given the boot, and has been replaced by a smaller LED panel that can light up in different colors. There's also a new trigger button that mirrors the DualSense controller's ability to offer resistance when pressed by the user. However, the second one is a little bit different. Spotted by some eagle-eyed fans, it would appear that Sony has patented a controller for futuristic object tracking. Essentially, Sony wants to provide players with a means to control their games which don't require electronic, battery-driven input devices such as the PS5 DualSense controller. You see, according to the patent itself, this could literally mean everything from the aforementioned yellow, sweet fruity snack, to oranges, plastic swords, toy guns and basically everything in between. It would be desirable if a user could use an inexpensive, simple and non-electronic device as a video game peripheral, the patent application reads. The present disclosure seeks to address, or at least alleviate some of the last-gen PSVR's identified problems. Well, it seems to me that combined with the sort of improved camera tracking that the recently and officially announced PSVR2 looks set to provide, players might be able to designate these objects as trackable entities for the camera to follow. This means that, say for a first-person shooter, you could scan in a toy gun, or a pair of bananas for a boxing game, for example. The benefit of embracing this sort of technology is obvious, since it could potentially open up gaming to a whole new casual audience that would normally be put off by the relative complexities of a regular controller. It's good to potentially peel the wallpaper back on the walls of the future to see what may lay ahead. What do you think about this though, and what objects would you want to scan in and for what games? Let me know in the comments below. Moving forward, we have Death Stranding news, as according to an industry insider Navtra on Reset Era, the Death Stranding Extended Edition rumored to be coming to PS4 and PS5 is ready and done, with an announcement likely to happen very soon. Keep in mind that Kojima Productions has not made anything official at this point. Many folk were expecting the game to be revealed during Sony's State of Play broadcast last Thursday, although this didn't happen. However, in response to this, NAFTA offered the following tidbit. She said who knows? It has been ready and done for a while now though. Genuinely expected it to be revealed today. Same goes for Lee's True Colors. I'd give it one more month maybe. Navtra has a decent track record when it comes to PlayStation-related leaks, so hopefully he's on the money with this one. It's also recently been suggested that Death Stranding may eventually make its way to Xbox platforms down the line, as Phil Spencer also teasing these sometimes. Only time will tell. We also have another news leaked by an industry insider that dates for next PlayStation and Nintendo events, Elden Ring dates are revealed. Business analyst and industry insider Roberto Serrano has updated his list of gaming events for 2021, amending a previous list that he made last month. According to Serrano, March will be home to some key gaming events, like the rumored Xbox event, the Elden Ring reveal, and the first look at Battlefield 2021. Then in April, fans may be able to count on presentations from Ubisoft, EA, and WB. He believes May will include reveals from Activision, Capcom, and Rockstar Games, whereas June and July will include the E3 2021 festivities, including presentations from Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, EA, and Bandai Namco. Then August will include another PlayStation event, whereas September will host the annual Tokyo Game Show. Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest will also be taking place around this time as well. Serrano does not provide concrete evidence to back up his claims, but it's worth pointing out that he has accurately predicted events like these in the past. For example, Serrano leaked the PlayStation 5 games showcase prior to the official announcement from Sony. However, Serrano has been incorrect in the past as well, like when he was wrong about the PS5 price and release date reveal. Considering this, we should take this information with a grain of salt. When one looks at Serrano's predictions that he posted in February, it turns out that he was pretty close with a lot of it. While he was off about the reveal date, he did say that a Final Fantasy VII Remake PS5 port would be revealed, and that did come to pass. He also predicted PlayStation and Nintendo events for March, though those ended up taking place in February instead. It's now March, and so fans should find out sooner rather than later if there's any truth to Serrano's latest claims. If the rumored Elden Ring or Battlefield reveals happen, then we may be able to be a bit more confident about what they can expect from the industry during these months. We also have another DualSense lawsuit issue as PS5 DualSense Drift lawsuit company steps up efforts to ensure case is settled in court. Chemical Schwartz Kreiner and Donaldson Smith, CSK&D, the law firm behind the PS5 DualSense Drift lawsuit, has stepped up its efforts in a bid to have the case settled in court as opposed to through arbitration. Filed back in February 2021, the class action lawsuit claims that Sony's new controllers contain a defect that results in characters or gameplay moving on the screen without user command or manual operation of the joystick. The PS5 software license agreement in North America features an arbitration clause, which means that consumers may be unable to pursue claims in a regular court or on a class-wide basis if it's enforced. Despite this, PS5 owners are able to opt out of resolving disputes through arbitration by sending a letter to Sony within 30 days of powering on their console. Now, CSK&D is eager to help this cause out by preparing a template letter for class action members to fill out, as well as offering to send the letter to Sony. Speaking to IGN, CSK&D partner Benjamin F. Johns commented that, "The only comment I can offer on this issue is that this procedure has been used successfully in other contexts which we think are analogous here." The lawsuit itself causes Sony of unfair, deceptive, and/or fraudulent business practices resulting in unjust enrichment. As things going smoothly on Sony's side with the record-breaking PS5 revolution, it's a barricade for their industry, and I hope they soon recover from that. Here we have a cheeky and important PS5 news as Sony's PS5 is a technical powerhouse, that much we know, and folk in China have found another use for the console besides gaming and watching 4K movies, crypto mining. As reported by Gadget Tendency, the PS5's innards are perfectly suitable for this task, but it's only now that folk have actually been able to get it to work. A screenshot doing the rounds online has confirmed that Ethereum mining has now been made possible on PS5. Performing at 98.76 mH/s, with a 211 W power consumption. The report notes that to achieve this there's a large possibility that the console was hacked, but also overlocked, as its native performance should have been clocking in at 50 mH/s, which is the level of AMD Radeon RX 5700 XT. Online miners are in a rush now. Moving forward, Sony announces that it's ending movie and TV purchases on the PlayStation Store, claiming it will be relying on streaming services instead. Sony has long offered PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 players the opportunity to watch movies and TV via the console storefronts, with both purchasing and renting options available. Announced via a post on the PlayStation blog today, it seems the service won't be a core part of the company's plans going forward, with Sony allegedly believing that the growth of subscription-based streaming services on the console has negated the need for it. "We've seen tremendous growth from PlayStation fans using subscription-based and ad-based entertainment streaming services on our consoles," reads a statement from Sony Interactive Entertainment's head of video business, Vanessa Lee. As a result of this change in customer behavior, Lee states that Sony has decided that it will no longer offer movie and TV purchases and rentals on the PlayStation Store starting August 31st. Following the removal of the service later this year, PlayStation Store users who have purchased films or TV shows through the digital marketplace will still be able to access their content through their PS4, PS5, and mobile device. It's a big shift for Sony, which has long attempted to offer multimedia content through the storefront itself rather than relying exclusively on streaming services. Going forward, it seems Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney+, Hulu, Crunchyroll, and the wealth of other significant streaming names that operate on PlayStation will be the go-to media hubs for Sony's consoles. In other PlayStation-related news, Sony has recently decided to re-implement its Play-at-Home initiative, which incentivizes remaining indoors during the pandemic with free video games. This month, the company will be giving away Insomniac Games' acclaimed Ratchet & Clank reboot, which sees the famed Lombax and his robot partner team up for a reimagining of their first-ever adventure. It will be available for free to all PlayStation users, whether they have a PS Plus membership or not, with more titles slated to come over the next few months. The company also held a recent State of Play showcase, which covered significant upcoming games like Returnal, Sifu, Deathloop, and Kena Bridge of Spirits. It even announced a PlayStation 5 upgrade for Final Fantasy VII Remake titled Intergrade, which will add an exclusive chapter centered around Yuffie, one of the optional party members featured in the original Final Fantasy VII. The enhanced remaster is also slated to bring a slew of visual upgrades to Square Enix's reimagining of the iconic JRPG, including new lighting effects, textures, and reflections, alongside improved loading times. Sony clearly isn't slowing down throughout 2021, looking to deliver another year chock full of surprises. A new job listing suggests that the upcoming open-world zombie game Dead Island may second be skipping PS4 and Xbox One entirely for next-gen consoles. Dead Island 2 started development in 2012, and was officially announced at E3 2014. Unfortunately, Dead Island 2 has been trapped in development hell ever since, with the project being passed along to different developers and never seeming to gain any real traction. While publisher Deep Silver has assured fans that Dead Island 2 is still in development, there hasn't been much in the way of meaningful updates about the game's progress. However, a recently discovered job listing posted by developer Dambuster Studios may provide some insight into the game's future. As spotted by Maro1L on Twitter, developer Dambuster Studios is hiring a senior producer for a game that's in development for next-gen consoles and PC. While Dead Island 2 is not specified as the game in question, the listing specifies the game as an established AAA title. Dambuster has no other projects currently announced that would fit that description, so the assumption has been that it is referring to Dead Island 2. Dead Island 2's latest development restart happened in 2019, so the latest version of the game has only been in development for a couple of years at best. It will likely need at least another year or more before it will be ready for release, at which point the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X consoles will be far better established. This very well could be why the apparent decision was made to ditch the PS4 and Xbox One versions of Dead Island 2 to focus on next-gen versions instead, though fans should keep in mind that this has not been verified. It's entirely possible that Dead Island 2 is still in fact coming to PS4 and Xbox One despite what this job listing suggests. Dead Island 2 has been through the ringer since its reveal at E3 2014. The drama started when Yeager was pulled off Dead Island 2 in 2015. Then in March 2016, Deep Silver hired Sumo Digital to work on Dead Island 2. Sumo Digital has a solid track record of delivering high-quality game releases, having just launched Sackboy, a big adventure in 2020 as a PlayStation 5 launch title. Regardless, a few years later, it was confirmed that Sumo was taken off the project, and that's when Dambuster Studios was given the reins. This potential switch to a next-gen only version of Dead Island 2 could potentially mean good things for the project, assuming it's true. For one, it would mean that the developers wouldn't have to split their resources making two different versions of the game, and they can focus entirely on the next-gen experience. Secondly, this means that Dead Island 2 wouldn't be held back by dated hardware, potentially allowing Dambuster Studios to create a much more ambitious project. Whenever we get another look at the long-gestating Dead Island 2, it will be interesting to see how different it is from its initial reveal trailer. The Dead Island 2 reveal trailer featured a goofy tone and a more comedic leaning than the original game's marketing, but it remains to be seen if the final product will stick with that style. And as our final topic, we have the PS5 exclusives release news, as a series of new PS5 ads have revealed that Horizon Forbidden West is still targeting a 2021 release, despite recent rumors suggesting the game has been pushed into 2022. One of the ads was posted on Instagram and reveals that Horizon Forbidden West and Ghostwire Tokyo will arrive in late 2021, while a video ad mentions second half of 2021 for the game's launch window. Again, this comes in wake of a recent report that says the game won't make it out this year at all. Sony's official word is that Horizon Forbidden West will launch for PS4 and PS5 in 2021, and PlayStation boss Jim Ryan recently said that the Guerrilla Games developed title will indeed make it out this year. Still, there's been a few games that have suffered delays, including Gran Turismo 7, which will now launch in 2022. It's also been suggested that God of War Ragnarok will be delayed into next year too, but that is yet to be announced by Sony. And that's all for the video, guys. If you think the video is informative and interesting, give it a like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel and comment your thoughts on these topics. And until then, from SMPV, it's goodbye.